Hello friends, I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Hope it's fantastic and wonderful. Everything here is great. I got to go to game night last night. If you watched yesterday's video, you know that. Also, if you watched yesterday's video, you know that I hadn't been to game night regularly for quite a few years, like 3 years, maybe 4 years. It had been a while. And I talked a little bit yesterday about the reasons why I had stopped going, but that's beside the point. I went last night. Last night was the first game night in over 15 months, 16 months, 18 months. I don't know. It's been a long time. And it's put on by my local library. They host from 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. There's snacks and drinks. Sometimes there's pizza. And I think last night we had about 20 in the board gaming room, and then there was a role-playing group that also showed up. So there was over 20 people there playing board games, and that was really fun and interesting. Everybody's vaccinated, everybody's, got safety conscious, and we had single-serve snacks and drinks, so there was no sharing, and it worked out really well. I got to play 3 games. Ginkopolis, which I have played once before years ago. I don't know if that game's in print anymore. It's an old Z-Man title. Very interesting little tile area control, hand management, drafting engine game. I took Irish Gauge, so I got to play Irish Gauge for the first time. Enjoyed myself there. And Great Western Trail, which I had never played before. So I was excited to try it. It's been on my list for a while. So, we showed up. There was about 3 people were there when I pulled in, and then I was the 4th, and then another one of our friends showed up shortly after, and so 4 of us just played 3 games together, and it was a really good time. I think that while I didn't do great at Great Western, actually I did terrible at Great Western Trail. I also did terrible at Irish Gauge, but I made a really stupid decision early and never recovered from it, and I feel like it's that kind of game. If you haven't played a Cube Rails game, early decisions are really important. And if you get behind, you're probably not going to catch up. And that's just the kind of game it is. And I made a really big blunder and just could never catch up. Ginkopolis, I came in second. And funny enough, I think Ginkopolis is the game that I felt the least confident about. Like, I just still didn't quite comprehend what I was doing by the end of the game, but somehow came in second. But I would say that the players that I played with last night... So, yesterday we talked about one of the reasons I quit going was I had really severely diminished my cognitive ability with the medication that I had been on. And so I felt like I was back to at least some degree of my normal self, and I could maybe play games, not necessarily competitively, but be competitive at games. And the 3 players that I played with last night are probably 3 of the absolute strongest players at that group. And I felt like I did okay. Great Western Trail, I got just murdered. And it was just because I tried to kind of do a little bit of everything early on. And so I shipped a few less times than everybody else. And I didn't get the right mixture of cow. I didn't think about cows very much until later in the game. And I was I waited way too long to worry about cows. So I ended up kind of just fumbling through that game. But now that I know how to play it, I think I could play it pretty well. I think I could be competitive at least. And I think that was a test for me. Going back was a test for me. It was a test for a few things. One, it was a social test. I am not a super social person. If I was left up to my own devices, I would just stay here 99% of the time, right? I just like being in my house. I like doing things in my house. I like cooking. I like cleaning. I like, vegging on my couch. I like building stuff. I like doing game design. I just like being here. And being on the run, going and doing things doesn't excite me. The nice thing about game night is it's, 15-minute drive, and then I can focus on that for 5 hours and then 15-minute drive home. And so it's not like I'm running, right? It's more like just going to a place to relax with friends. And so socially, it was fun, right? I met. Did I meet new people? I didn't meet new people. Everybody there, I think I knew previously. I don't know their names. I'm horrific at names. But I at least maybe I did meet one new person. Socially was fine. I felt very comfortable with those people, with the group that was there. I will tell you that there are some people in that group that I would rather not play games with, and if I show up and that's my only option, I think it's okay in the future if I just leave. If I just say, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna go home. And maybe that's me being a dick, but the consequences of me not enjoying myself means I won't go back. I would rather just leave and then come back another night when I could enjoy myself. Mentally, I felt fine. I felt like I could comprehend. The games that we played, besides Irish Gauge is really simple to explain, and I explained it very quickly, and there's really not a whole lot to it. The other two games, there is a whole lot to. And so besides being a little bit confused by all of the stuff, I feel like that's also normal for what amounts to a second play of Ginkopolis after a 4-year break and the first play of Great Western Trail. So I didn't feel like I was cognitively behind. I felt like I was fine. But, I enjoyed myself. I really did. Em kind of pushed me out the door. She said, I really think you should go and just try it. You don't do anything anymore. And I was like, okay. And I'm glad I did. So, I'll probably go back in the future. No promises. There you go. That's my report on game night. Have you played games recently? Who have you played with, and have you played anything new? I'd like to hear new to you games. I'd like to hear what you've been playing and whether you've enjoyed them or not. Put that in the comments below. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking and commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is genome. It is a noun meaning the collection of chromosomes that makes an individual organism unique from all others except its clone or identical twin. Blake has become convinced that the genomes of those among his most important social contacts have more commonalities than differences. Genome, Genome. Was that word coined just for, like, genome sequencing? Genome? I guess so, it does have gene in it. Probably shouldn't ask that question.